back here with Emily Kaplan, Carlo Colaiacovo, and we're going to chat about the daunting task of competing in the Atlantic Division. The viewpoint of the Ottawa Senators. They've been active today. They've signed David Perron. They made a deal, Chychrun for Jensen and a pick. Obviously, Ullmark coming in and a couple of other pieces. But the Leafs are active, Emily. Florida, you know they're going to spend up to the cap. They got Reinhart back on a great deal. Boston's got Zadorov and Lindholm. And Tampa, they basically blew up free agency with what they've done. If you're Ottawa and you're looking at the Big Four, how do you feel today?
I think Steve Staios has a big task at hand of trying to rebuild the Senators as a destination organization. I mean, consider they do get Linus Ullmark, but they have to convince Linus Ullmark and his family, like, you want to extend here. Like, this is a place you want to be. And he didn't feel that automatically after getting traded there. He's excited. But consider this division where you have both Florida teams. Guys love living there and playing there. Obviously, there's the tax situation, but the winning culture as well, where guys want to take less money to play there. Boston has the long-standing culture. You know what you're going to get. Now Detroit is coming up, too, and has become an attractive place. They proved themselves last year. And then you have a team like Toronto that I think is in a similar situation as Ottawa. When you play in Canada, you're overtaxed. You're taxed because of the actual taxes, but also taxed because of the pressures of playing in a Canadian market. And Toronto's just so much further away than Ottawa is right now. I think the only solace they can take is the fact that the Buffalo Sabres also haven't really figured it out. So maybe they're still just a slight step ahead of them.
Well, Hayes, it's clear there's a culture change going on in Ottawa. You bring in Travis Green, Steve Staios has his first offseason trying to rebuild his team. But they got to continue to build around the young core players there in Tkachuk, in Stützle, in Batherson, in Sanderson. You got Claude Giroux there. David Perron helps bring a little bit more veteran experience. We heard Steve Staios and Dave Poulin talk about they need more of those veteran guys to come in and help allow those young players to continue to build and build a winning culture there. But the significant move they made was in net. For the last couple of years, what has hurt Ottawa is they haven't been able to get any saves in the net. It's cost them games, cost them points. And to get out of the Atlantic Division, like you talked about, to get to the Stanley Cup, you got to get out of the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, you do. Every year, one of these teams are going.
So that's the challenge that Ottawa is going to continue to face. They got to continue to build through the draft, and they got to find those veteran pieces to build around the young players.
Yeah, and it probably has to time out right as well. You know, Florida's still very good. Tampa, really good. Toronto, Boston. You got those young pieces. They're growing. They're trying to augment them with veteran guys. Travis Green, like you said, Ullmark, a big part of that. Ottawa fans, though, they want to get going. It's been a long time since the Sens were competing for the playoffs, let alone a Stanley Cup.